Have you ever been so tired of your own thoughts that even silence felt loud? I'm not talking about regular tired. I mean that deep kind of exhaustion where you wake up already fighting something inside you, where you're smiling on the outside and breaking down in places nobody can see. And the wild part? You keep telling yourself, I should be able to handle this. I'm strong. I've handled worse. But what if strength was never meant to look like suffering in secret? If you've ever felt ashamed for needing help, this episode is for you. Hey, my beautiful souls, it's Dagmary Daniels, your life coach. Welcome back to Way of the Wise Owl. If this is your first time here, pull up close because I don't do surface level healing over here. We do real, we do raw, we do truth that sets you free. Today, we're talking about something that a lot of people whisper about, but don't feel safe enough to say out loud. What it's like to finally seek a professional, a therapist, a doctor, a counselor, a psychiatrist, someone trained to help you untangle what you've been carrying, and why it's not something to hide, why it's not something to be ashamed of, and why needing help does not mean you're broken. I'm sharing this because I remember the version of me that sat in the dark trying to figure out how to fix myself alone. I remember the nights, the prayers, the journaling, the I'm good I kept giving people when I was nowhere near good. And I also remember the day something in me finally said, Dagmary, you can't keep doing this by yourself. So today I want to pull the curtain back. I want to humanize the process. I want to break the stigma. And I want you to walk away from this episode feeling less alone and more empowered to choose your healing on purpose. Let's define what we're really talking about. Seeking a professional means you're allowing somebody with training, tools, and objectivity to help you make sense of your inner world. That's it. It's not weakness. It's not failure. It's not I've gone crazy. It's you saying, I deserve support. I deserve clarity. I deserve peace. I deserve to stop pretending I'm fine. Because here's what I learned the hard way. Pain that's left untreated doesn't disappear. It just changes shape. It turns into anger. It turns into numbness. It turns into chronic stress that your body starts holding like a storage unit. It turns into relationships falling apart because you don't know how to trust anymore. It turns into you shrinking, isolating, and convincing yourself you're just independent. Let me ask you something real quick. What happens when we ignore this part of ourselves? What happens when we keep calling trauma just life? What happens when we keep normalizing survival mode? And how long do you think your mind, your heart, and your body can keep carrying what you refuse to name? Healing doesn't start when you get over it. Healing starts when you get honest. All right, let me take you into my real life for a minute. There was a season in my life where everything looked together. I was still showing up, still being the strong one, still being everybody's safe space, still pushing through. But inside, I was unraveling because I wasn't just dealing with stress. I was dealing with layers of grief I never processed, layers of trauma I explained away, layers of things I told myself didn't count because, well, other people had it worse. And I got so used to being the fixer and the fighter that I convinced myself I had to fix me too. So I tried. I read all the books. I listened to podcasts. I did the affirmations. I did the mirror talk. I journaled until my hands cramped. And yes, those things helped. They helped me cope. They helped me survive. But they did not help me fully heal what I didn't even have language for. See, here's the part a lot of folks don't talk about. Sometimes the reason you can't think your way out is because what you're dealing with is not just a mindset problem. It's a nervous system problem, a trauma response, a chemical imbalance, a survival pattern. And I didn't want to admit that because admitting that meant I wasn't in full control. It meant maybe I wasn't as strong as I thought I had to be. And baby, the fear was real. I was scared of what a professional might say, scared they'd label me, scared they'd judge me, scared of being told something was wrong with me. But the bigger fear, I was scared of staying stuck. I was scared of spending my whole life managing pain instead of healing it. So I took the step. And I'll never forget sitting there thinking, Dagmary, you're really here. You're really doing this. And what I expected to feel was shame. But what I actually felt was relief. Because for the first time in a long time, I didn't have to be the expert. I didn't have to carry my story alone. I didn't have to keep guessing why I was reacting the way I was reacting. I had support. And I'm not gonna lie, some sessions were ugly. Some sessions had me leaving like, I didn't know that was in there. Some sessions had me sitting in the car crying before I drove home. But what I started realizing was this: I wasn't falling apart. I was finally letting myself come together. Naming my pain didn't destroy me, it freed me. Because when you finally understand your inner world, you stop blaming yourself for everything you survived. You start seeing patterns, you start connecting dots, you start learning what your triggers are really about. You start finding compassion for the version of you who was just trying to make it through. That was my transformation moment, not when I became perfect, not when life got easy, but when I stopped treating help like a humiliation and started treating it like wisdom. Now, let me coach you through this part gently and clearly, okay? If you've been thinking about seeking professional help, but you're stuck in fear, shame, or uncertainty, here are some steps. Step one: tell the truth to yourself first. Before you tell anybody else, you've got to be honest with you. Ask yourself, am I okay, really? Am I caring more than I'm admitting? Do I feel like I'm surviving instead of living? You don't need a dramatic breakdown to justify support. You don't have to be at your worst. If you're tired of being tired, that's enough. Step two: separate help from identity. Some of us think seeking help means I'm weak, I'm crazy, I failed, I'm broken. No. Help is not your identity. A diagnosis is not your personality. Support is not a sentence. Sometimes a diagnosis is a door to understanding what's been happening inside you your whole life, not a label to trap you, a language to free you. Step three: start where you feel safest. For some people, that's therapy. For others, it's a primary care doctor. For others, it's a counselor through work, church, or community resources. You don't need to know the perfect path. You just need to take the first step you can handle. And if the first professional isn't a fit, that doesn't mean help doesn't work. It means you haven't found your person yet. Step four: write down what you need before you go. When emotions get big, words get hard. So before your appointment, jot down what you've been feeling, what scares you the most, what you want to stop experiencing, and what you want your life to feel like. You're not there to perform. You're there to be supported. Step five: give yourself permission to be a beginner. Healing professionally can feel awkward at first. You might think, what do I say? What if I cry? What if I can't explain it? Listen, there is no wrong way to show up for your own healing. You don't have to do it right. You just have to do it honest. Let's talk about what happens when you apply this. When you seek help, you start gaining clarity. You understand why your mind does what it does. Tools, not just inspiration, actual strategies that work in real life. Relief, because you stop carrying everything by yourself. Confidence, not the fake kind, the grounded kind, the kind that says, I know what I need and I'm not ashamed to get it. And here's something else: your relationships change because you're not bleeding on people who didn't cut you. Your body changes because you're not holding all that unresolved stress in your nervous system. Your future changes because you stop repeating patterns you never understood. Now, yes, there are pitfalls. One of the biggest: thinking you have to wait until it's unbearable. No, ma'am. No, sir. Don't wait until your mind is screaming. Don't wait until your body forces you to stop. Don't wait until you've lost years to survival mode. Another pitfall: shame spirals after diagnosis. If you get a diagnosis and your first thought is, something is wrong with me, stop, breathe. Try this instead. Something happened to me, and now I have the support to understand it, and I can heal. A diagnosis doesn't make you less worthy. It makes treatment more specific. It gives you a map. Let me bring this home, family. If you've been carrying pain alone, if you've been trying to pray it away, grind it away, smile it away, if you've been pretending you're okay because you don't want to be judged, I need you to hear me clearly. You are not alone. You are not weak. You are not too much. And you are not broken beyond repair. You are human. And humans were never designed to heal in isolation. Healing is not you proving how strong you are. Healing is you choosing to be whole even when it scares you. So here's your affirmation for today. Slow, intentional. I am allowed to need help. I am allowed to seek support. I am allowed to heal in community and not in silence. And if nobody has told you this lately, I'm telling you right now, your healing is worth the effort. Your peace is worth the vulnerability. Your life is worth the support. And I'm going to say this with everything in me. Asking for help isn't weak, it's wise. Let that sit. Thank you for sitting with me today. Thank you for letting this conversation be real. I don't take your trust lightly. If this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who needs permission to stop suffering alone. Follow the podcast, leave a review, and come visit me at https://www.wayofthewiseowl.com for more resources, coaching support, and community. Until next time, family, keep choosing your healing, keep choosing your truth, and keep choosing you. Love you. Talk soon.